don't think you can describe it because, you know what I was saying? It was like quiet, but then also really alive.
Non-serious event, a PR stunt.
Now, so they go up there and they float for like 10 minutes and then they come down.
Let's not minimize this. Let's celebrate female astronauts.
Critics online echoed Joe Rogan's sentiment, accusing Katy Perry and the Blue Origin crew of merely cosplaying as astronauts. The skepticism was further validated when the FAA confirmed that the group does not qualify for official astronaut status.
Look at the moon. It's dark. Days!
I will never be the same. I mean, when you get up there and you see the Earth, and it's so beautiful, and it just fills the screen, and it's not just your window. It's like everybody's window, and there's no boundaries, there's no border. There's just Earth.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. You are officially an astronaut.
What the fuck are you talking about?
She was in space, technically, for like the blink of an eye. And then she kissed the dirt and she came down and talked about, you know, the strength man.
Yeah, like I think there was a bitch stuck on a space station for a few months. That's terribly more impressive.
Let's not minimize this.
Boinking a billionaire and getting a free ticket to space for 11 minutes. It was flat, but quiet.
The moon! You guys, I will have to tell you, look at the moon!
But this was really not women in space. It was stupid people in space. This was the lowest IQ space crew that has ever been launched from Earth.
Joe Rogan didn't hold back on questioning the credibility of the flight itself, further fueling the debate surrounding the mission's significance and sincerity.
The reason that Katy Perry is not technically an astronaut right now is because none of the people in this capsule could actually operate anything. It was all being remotely controlled.
Space exploration was to further our knowledge and to help mankind. I mean, what are they going to do up there that has made it better for us down here?
What did they do? They got in their special Oscar de la Renta designed suits, lay down in a capsule, and came back in 10 minutes, you guys.
So it was cool. They took a very, very expensive, very, very cool roller coaster ride that technically put them in.
Katy Perry's starry-eyed trip to the edge of space has hit some unexpected turbulence back on Earth. The pop icon joined an all-female Blue Origin flight last week, a highly publicized 11-minute journey that took her beyond the Kármán line and back.
Calling this a crew or implying that this is some revolutionary, big glass ceiling breaking win for women is basically complete bullshit.
That she needs empowerment says something sad about women because it means that even with $1 billion, they still need a boost.
It's so much money to go to space. Yeah. You know, and there's a lot of people who can't even afford eggs.
Katy!
Mocking what he described as the overly self-congratulatory tone of the mission. The backlash online has only grown since, with critics questioning the purpose and spectacle of the high-profile spaceflight.
Whoa. That's amazing.
I'm much better now that the ladies are back from space.
Thank you for having me. What were they up there, 10 minutes?
Well, it was very profound. I don't know if you've seen Katy Perry talk about it, but she's basically a guru now.
Yeah. What were her findings? That's my question.
Well,
what did she learn?
Daisy, which is super important.
Yeah. Humanity was hanging by a thread until Katy Perry took a 12-minute Uber ride to the cosmos.
It shows you how quick the flight was. The dead Daisy that's like snipped from its life source was still alive or still vibrant.
Yeah, and it's Look
at her. Shout out Daisy.
Wow.
Look at her nails. So pretty.
Perry had explained that the daisy she wore during the flight was a tribute to her daughter, Daisy Dove, symbolizing resilience and strength. However, that emotional gesture didn't shield her from criticism.
And very saddened by it. And I also say this, what it's doing to inspire other women and young girls, please don't ignore that.
You know, it's so funny. She said she's heard from women and girls who have said to her, I didn't realize this is something I could do. You know how I know that didn't happen, Megan? Because it's not something they could do. Because they're not friends with Jeff Bezos, right?
The mission ended in dramatic fashion, with Perry literally kissing the Texas dirt upon landing. However, the celebration didn't last long. On a recent episode of The Joe Rogan Experience, the comedian and podcaster Joe Rogan tore into Perry and the rest of the crew.
Let's not minimize the sacrifice they made for
it was huge.
For the world,
deal.
in fact. For the world. They're profoundly different. They're profoundly different now.
To show people. What's inspiring?
That's what I'm saying.
It's inspiring. If a guy who's worth, what, $1 trillion? Several billion, 100 billion.
Yeah, just imagine the conspiracies if they didn't make it.
Yeah. Well, Pete, there's already people saying that they faked it, which I think is silly.
Well, I love those people.
But it's great.
Those are the people that think space is fake.
That's right. Yeah. But there are already people going, well, they faked it. And I'm like, I hope they fake something better than that. I hope. If they're faking stuff, and they probably are faking some stuff, God, I hope they're faking stuff that's better than that.
I think this is the confusion. I think the confusion is that they essentially got to the threshold of space.
As they didn't perform any safety-critical tasks during the fully automated flight. Even fast food chain Wendy's joined in on the mockery, tweeting, "Can we send her back after Perry's dramatic post-landing moment?" Despite the backlash, Perry stood by the journey, calling it an experience second only to being a mom. She expressed hope that it would inspire courage, worthiness, and fearlessness. But judging by the online reaction, many weren't exactly starstruck. As Perry proudly declared, "These are all of my astronaut girlies," the internet had already launched into full critique mode.
You have never said to an astronaut, boy, what a ride. No one called that a
You're
ride.
eligible.
It was called a flight. It was called a journey. Because a ride implies that it's something frivolous or something that's lighthearted. There was nothing frivolous about what we did.
Got it?
Taking up space!
I got you, Flynn.
Gotcha.
Yeah, humanity was apparently hanging by a thread until Katy Perry saved the day with a 12-minute Uber ride to the cosmos. The sarcasm has been thick online, with critics mocking the overhyped nature of the mission and questioning its actual impact, especially in light of the global issues we face back here on Earth. According to NASA's latest data, at least as joked online, zero gravity apparently speeds up your skincare routine by 80 years.
They did not get like way out there where re-entry is very traumatic. And it has like, if you see like those heat shields that they put all over those things, and if they break off on the re-entry, everybody dies.
Right.
That's because you're way out there and the amount of heat that gets generated as you're re-entering the atmosphere. I think they're essentially like on the border of the atmosphere. Let's see, how high did they go up there?
They go above that line. It's called like the Kármán line or something.
So the space shuttle goes.
They went a little higher than that
miles.
Rocket Man documentary, that guy who shot himself up in a rocket.
The quip adds to the growing pile of sarcasm surrounding Katy Perry's brief venture into space, with many mocking the glamorization of the flight and poking fun at the idea that a few minutes in microgravity somehow equates to a life-altering cosmic journey. When the people in your own circle, the ones who truly understand the ins and outs of the industry, start side-eyeing your moves, it's a pretty strong sign that maybe, just maybe, the whole thing didn't land quite as planned. And according to Gayle King herself, this wasn't just some amusement park thrill. Oh no, this was a journey with a capital J. If you even think about calling it a ride, well, you better brace yourself for a serious talking to.